The concept of leading a team is hard. It's foreign. It's setting up those standard operating procedures so that someone can get in and go A, B, C, D, done. Is not something that they've really done because they just do it themselves. Probably one of the biggest but hardest lessons to learn is you cannot make everyone happy. It is never going to happen, and that's okay.
When you get sick and you can't work, it's when you have a team that can still run. So I really advocate on team. Curious to know how you can start your own VA business? Want to know how to hire people from your own country, like the USA? Hi, it's Lynn Padetti, and in today's episode, my guest, Selena Thiele, founder of Office Mercenary, a VA company based in the US. She created jobs for US-based VAs and helps clients with outsourcing their back office work to reliable VAs who she oversees. Now, in this interview, you will learn how she started her business, what the first year was like, how she differentiated herself from other VA companies out there. Hi, Selena. Great to have you here. I just love the moment we met. I was like, your personality, oh my God, you make me laugh, girl. And of course, we have so much in common, which is that we run an agency, a VA agency, helping people to hire their own virtual assistant, except that yours is a little bit different, which I've never had a chance to talk to someone like yourself who actually hire VAs that are not from the Philippines, that are from America. And I always love that because at the end of the day, the business is all about helping people find employment, at the same time free up clients. It doesn't matter where they're from. So that's why I'm really excited to have you here today to ask you questions around how did you even start your virtual assistant agency? So welcome, Selena.
Thank you for the warm welcome. It's always great to get a chance to talk with you. I'm so excited.
Tell me a little bit about your background, because I know that you are a natural, even like a theater actor or something. And then how did you then become a VA and then owning your own VA agency?
I started as a theater kid in high school. It was passion. I went to college for theater. I did not finish college for theater, but I started it because, oh my gosh, of course I want to be an actress. I belong on the stage. But what I realized later is that I've always been that kind of admin person. I would go in with my mom to her work during the summers to help file. I was a bizarre child that seemed like fun. When my dad opened his company in my high school, I was helping him with QuickBooks. I was the go-to of, Selena, the computer hates me, just make it work. Okay. When I ended up at jobs, I ended up in admin jobs. I started with smaller companies, I worked up to bigger ones, but I was consistently the person who was, we don't know what to do with this, Selena, figure it out. So I'm going to show my age a little bit here. There was the initial like, Selena, we've heard that social media might be good for marketing. Can you start to figure that out? Yeah, things like that, where I ended up with this really broad knowledge base. So around 2016, I decided to go out on my own. And I did it on my own for about 3.5 years, where it was just me. And I found out that I was doing the exact same thing that so many of the business owners that we're trying to help do. Working until 11 p.m., working on your weekends, working, when your husband, wife, significant other is like, hey, dinner's ready. You're like, okay, 1 minute. And then 2 hours later, they're like, are you okay? Isn't your blood sugar crashing yet? I'm like, oh yeah, oops. I fell into the same trap. I happened to meet another woman who I hit it off with like crazy. And she was like, oh my God, let's open an agency. I've got 10 years experience. You have a lot of years. At that point, it was 15 or something like that. So now it's like getting close to 20 and I feel ancient. And it's just like, we can bring other people in. That way we get to help more business owners because it's not just reliant on you. And we get to help more people get into the VA space and feel comfortable being in the VA space. Everyone who starts in the VA space, okay, not everyone, but an overwhelming majority have that moment of, I don't know, do I know enough? Am I good enough? Am I good? Can I do this on my own? It's my own company. I'm used to helping other people do stuff. Can I do it myself? Getting them over that hump, helping them get clients, helping them know you do know what you're talking about. here's how you make this work better. Oh. And that took off and expanded.
Well, that's exactly what I try to preach on my channel, and some of my videos is all about, like, don't become that VA. Well, yeah, we need VAs to be in your agencies or in my agency, but still, if you're an entrepreneur, because I mean, at the end of the day, if you're an entrepreneur, you thrive on uncertainty and love the passion of starting a business. So business isn't for everybody, right? But if you love working for someone, that's fine. But I'm just saying, if you want to, when someone wants to start a business and an entrepreneur, but then they get stuck in being just a VA, I'm like, no, you need to really build a team. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck. Even though you think you own a business, you just own a job, like a self-employed job, right? So well done to you for realizing that. And so what was it like in your first year of, like, all of a sudden you're not on your own and you can take all the money from the client and it's all paid to you, versus now having to split that with your team and growing that business? What was your first year like?
The first year was such a growing experience. Just the concept of hiring people. This is the reason why so many business owners they stay solopreneurs, because, oh God, hiring people. It's scary. It's scary to start out and do that. But we started out with two who ended up being super, super great. It was a great place to start. So we had me and my partner and then two other VAs. And with that, it's the first several months, it was all of the money goes back into the business, just kind of keep it there. Could we have taken some out? Yeah, but kind of keeping it all there allowed us to do some upgrades and things like that early. And also allowed us to kind of push a little bit more marketing, push a little bit more time that we were spending going out and finding those clients and getting those first two VAs fuller on clients and make sure that they were in a good place. And then we could hire on more and bring on more clients and bring on more people and bring on more clients. It's funny because there's always this flex. There's always, people will leave, people will come in, and that's clients, that's VAs, that's whoever. So sometimes the team is as small as 4 VAs, and largest that we've hit, which we've only been around for a little under 2 years, we've had 10 VAs. The other fun part of the first year is, we had 3 months, and then we started 2020, and then a little bit into 2020, we all know what happened. Yeah. Which was both a blessing and a curse. A curse because so many small businesses just hunkered down and were like, we spend money on nothing. But there were a lot of small businesses who went, I need to move online. I don't know how to move online. I bet a virtual assistant, and virtual's in the name, I bet they know how to do that. And so it opened up a lot more people to the idea of hiring virtually, whether that's in the same country or in another country or anything like that. It just opened up the idea that maybe this is not terrible.
Yes, I totally get you. When the pandemic hit and I had a few cancellations and I got paranoid, I was like, oh my God, what if I have no more clients, right? Even that, and every business is going to close and then we have to close. But then we realized, a month or two later, it was like, oh my God, we're positioned in the right space. I mean, we're already virtual. It's such a great model because it just gives us so much more flexibility. Tell me more about, what do you love about running your own VA agency or working virtually yourself?
Part of the reason why I went into working for myself as a VA was I desperately needed more time flexibility. I needed it so bad, both for my mental health, my physical health. It was just even if I wanted to work at a regular office, it wasn't the right place for me anymore. And that was kind of a huge thing of where I was like, yeah, no, creating an agency is the right move here too, because I no longer have the flexibility of time. The thing that I love about the agency is you still have that time flexibility. You combat some of that solopreneur, you don't see people, you don't hear people unless they're your clients or those 4 friends that you talk with and you see them once a month. So you get that personal interaction that most people need at least a little bit of. The other thing that's great about the agency is when you've got a team, it's really nice because stuff happens. Like life happens, weird stuff happens where it's, oh my gosh, I got really sick and this thing is due tonight. Can someone step in and help? Yeah, absolutely. If it was just one person, oh, I'm sick. No, you aren't. No, you are. I can't afford to be sick. I'm not sick. Everything's fine. It's fine. I need to get things done. It's fine. Hint, it's not fine.
Totally. This is a great message to solopreneurs out there, because I hear excuses like, oh, but I love what I do, or only I could do it best and stuff. And I'm like, sure, but when you get sick, right? We all get sick one day. It's when you get sick and you can't work. It's when you have a team that can still run. It's not just earning money for yourself, but it's like clients who's paid you and need their job done as well, and it affects their business. So it's like, it's only right for you to actually have backup so that you can deliver as well. And then, or when you want to travel, like imagine traveling and yet stressing out about work and not having a team. So I really advocate on team, right?
God forbid you take a vacation and, I have worked, I've got everything done in advance, everything's ready, and the client calls and goes, oh, I need this done right away. I know it's an emergency. Are you prepared to drop your kids off at the beach and you go back to the hotel room to keep working? This is where it's nice to have a team that you can rely on. Yes, you probably do it best because you know exactly how you want it done and it's going to be perfect. But if you can get 80, 90, 95% of that functionality and that rightness with someone else, your time is more valuable than that. Bring other people on, let them help.
That's right. So now let's talk about what's your niche? Because look, at the end of the day, I always believe in business. It's not about competition. It's about collaboration. It's about when you meet someone that's in the same industry doing similar things to you, it's like trying to learn what is their different, what do they offer that's different, and what's their strength, because it's always about helping, referring one another. When we met, I was like, okay, great, you do American VAs, great. I don't do that. And I know that I have Australian staff, virtual staff, and it's amazing because they speak my language. Well, we all speak English, but they just get my culture. It's faster to do certain things. They're very strategic. They're different, right? They require less training. But yes, Filipino VAs require more training, but once you get them there, they're good and they're affordable. And so in your case, share with the audience, what do you offer and your packages, certain packages, and what do you love about your type of VAs versus what other VAs out there, like my VA, let's say.
Which, you've sent us people who are just like, no, I need a VA in the US. I've sent you one or two who are just sitting there like, oh, American VAs are kind of expensive. So, yeah, they're gonna be. All of our VAs are based in the US, and that does hit a very specific market. There is this niche of Americans who just, I want to deal with more Americans. And sometimes there's very good reasons for that. Some of their messaging and all that kind of stuff. Yes, we're all speaking English, but there's slang and all this kind of stuff that even across the US, you say something for, I'm based in Colorado, which is kind of middle west. Some of our slang, you say that on the East Coast and they are just going to look at you like you've grown a second head. It happens. So they want a very specific set of language skills, or they know that, these people are going to get my market because I only market to other people in the US. And so they're going to get that really well. Some of what we do this very broad range of kind of first tier services. So if you want help posting on social media and making sure it's consistent and on brand and pretty, absolutely. If you want I guarantee that you're going to get 150 followers in 3 weeks if you do this, that's not us. That's a social media strategist. They may still call themselves a VA, different genre altogether. We really thrive with small businesses. It's solopreneurs who are just kind of dipping their toes in the water of handing things off. It's people maybe with a small team like under 10 who are just, oh, I've got like a marketing person and a salesperson, and I realize I'm still doing too much. Our packages usually involve just hourly. We've got an hourly rate. If you hit a certain number of hours, we'll give you a discount. But we start at 2 hours a month, specifically because we do have people who are just getting their toes wet in this idea of, oh, like 10 or 15 hours, that seems like a lot. You'd be surprised how quickly it goes, but that's part of our way to combat that fear with our clients. Lynn, I think your packages start at 10 hours, 20 hours, something like that, which
exactly.
Most agencies, that's where they start. And honestly, that's a good place to start for most agencies. This is one of the ways we're a little bizarre, which means it gives us the opportunity to work with people kind of at that ground level and grow with them.
Yeah, lovely. And so talking about clients, what are some of the bizarre things you hear from them? Bizarre, I guess for us, but I mean, it's normal for a lot of clients. It's just like I mentioned before, it's like, oh, but I can do it or whatever else. Like, I guess what challenges or things did you hear from the clients coming into your business?
I'd say number one is I do it so well, and I feel like it would take a lot of time to train someone. And yeah, but how much time are you spending doing it yourself where you weren't doing other things is number one. Number two is because they may have gotten into business because I don't want a team. I just want it to be me. And then they got busy and they're like, I need a team. The concept of leading a team is hard. It's foreign. It's setting up those standard operating procedures so that someone can get in and go A, B, C, D, done. Is not something that they've really done because they just do it themselves. So that's a certain amount of training of, okay, we're going to help you set this up. We're going to get it ready for you. Let us know if this changes. Let us know how it's doing. We're going to help train you to communicate with this other person in this realm. The third one is really just, there's this concept of what a VA is. Because, like I said, the social media strategist may still market themselves as a social media VA. Is that what they are really? Kind of. Like, there's definitely a crossover, but are they a VA? So there's this, okay, so you're a VA. So you do, video editing, and you do this, and you do that, and you do this other thing, and you can, make pigeons sing on high. And no. I could do like 3 of those 8 things you just listed if like 4 of those are a specialty, and one of them I'm not sure that's possible with physics. And so some of this is learning how to set those expectations with clients.
That's right. So what I've learned being in the VA world for like over 10 years is that virtual assistant is such a broad term. At the end of the day, they are an assistant. They are a person that works virtually. Now, every company hires different people to do different things. So for example, on our end, yes, we try to explain to our clients in our world, virtual assistants can do a lot of the technical stuff, video editing, web developers, etc., because we work in the marketing space and we can hire cheap resources from the Philippines, for example. So we have a very vast amount of people and it's still affordable. But then people are like, oh, I thought VAs can only do more admin related work, right? Which, yes, if they go to a company like yours, you'll define that and you'll be like, okay, yes, it's more admin related. It's more, back office work that they do. So this is why the clients get confused out there. I think they're kind of like, what does the VA do? I thought they can only do this. Oh, I thought they do this. How come you don't do this? So this is where the challenge is in running an agency, trying to explain and re-educate our clients that, okay, yeah, that's right, that's correct, what you've learned over there, but this is what we do differently, right? You experience that too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's like, here's what we can help with marketing. Here is our box. Here's what we can do with admin. Here's what we can do with sales, kind of thing. Not every VA company does everything. And then there's VAs with a specialty where it's just like, yes, what I do is I help reach out and function as like a assistant salesperson. I'm essentially helping you sell stuff. A lot of VAs are sitting there like, I don't know that I want to touch that.
We don't do that either. We're not going to call and make sales for you and just grow your business for you.
Call or do like the one-on-one LinkedIn messaging and that sort of thing. Is like that usually ends up as a specialty. Not always. but a lot of times. And it's one VA is not one size fits all.
That's right. Yeah, and that's why as part of our process, we always make sure they have a proper discovery call, right? Because this is where you really need to understand what the client are thinking when they think of a VA or how they think it's going to fit. Because without that, they just assume things, we assume things, and it doesn't really work. So it's always important to have that phone call with the client. So when we talk about challenges as well, it's like, yes, it's all rosy knowing that the good side of running a business, right? Like, in a sense where it's flexible, I love for us to share some realistic things that they could expect when running a business. So you've been running for a few years now, and what other challenges when it comes to being an entrepreneur, a business owner, and then running an agency?
Probably one of the biggest but hardest lessons to learn is you cannot make everyone happy. It is never going to happen. You're going to have that moment where you feel like you bent over backwards and just really tried to get something to work for someone, and they're still upset. That is not necessarily a you thing. That's not necessarily a them thing. That means they weren't the right person for you. And that's okay. You don't have to be everything to everyone. That was a big one for me because I very much so was like, no, I need to. Specifically to running an agency, people will leave. Like, people will sometimes leave unexpectedly, no matter how good of a relationship you have with them as a VA and an owner and all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, they would never just, I got like an opportunity. By the way, I'm not giving any notice, just peace out. Or just stop responding to your messaging or whatever it happens to be. Ideally, you've developed a rapport with everyone. That happens pretty rarely, but it is going to happen. It's going to happen at least a little bit. If you magically find like it doesn't happen, go out, buy whatever your equivalent of a lottery ticket is, because there is straight up magic happening around you. Those are probably... I get one of the other ones about running an agency is you are, as the owner, you're the backup for everyone. It stops with you. So if one of your VAs or whatever, if they get sick, if they go on vacation, or if just stuff isn't getting done for whatever reason, are they going to yell at the VA? No, they're going to yell at you because you are the one who sold them the product. And it's going to come down to you to either fix it, whether that's on the client side, on the VA side, on wherever, or you're going to have to take it back for a little bit. And sometimes just like, I've got so much freedom. Everything is handed off to everyone. And then you have that person leave or something not get done. And then you're like, never mind. I don't have that evening free after all. Some of that is up to you, how you handle it. But that's kind of the pitfall, is the thing that everyone's afraid of.
Yeah, totally. We're in the people business game, and people are different. People change. People, things happen in their life. And so it's not a game unless you love people and you love to deal with some, miscommunication, some conflicts, some personal challenges and things, then this isn't a business for you. This business is really about consoling people, understanding people's personal life and changing and being able to adapt to, and because people, they're not a robot, they change. So I agree with you. I've had VAs in the past where I was like, oh my god, they're like the best VA, they've been around for so many years, and when one of our clients, we found them a VA but they didn't work out, and we're like, don't worry, we found this VA who is free right now, she'll be amazing for you because we've got the track record, right? And it's worked. But then all of a sudden some personal things happen, and then she didn't perform, and we're like, what? We were so certain. And it's funny because I almost say sometimes a client comes in, it's like a curse. It's like some client come in and they just being cursed with the VA that just didn't work out, but it was no one's fault. It's just like the life is like that. And then
life happens, things happen, and then it just happens to be at a really unfortunate time.
Actually, most of the time when it does happen, it happens to the people who are really nice, like nice client who are very kind, and you're like, no, we wanted to work for this client, and luckily most of that time they are so patient. They kind of understand, look, it's not your fault, it's just bad luck for me. Anyway, I have a last question for you, which I know most people ask, is like, How did you kind of grow your business, getting clients in the first year and after that first year? Like, what is your strategy right now in terms of client attraction?
One of the biggest things I would say, like that first year, is networking. It's FaceTime. It's getting people to know you. Because if they know you and they like you, they're way more willing to pull that trigger and move forward. And as much as, 2020 changed the in-person game, in-person does provide a very tangible aspect to things. But if you're doing it via Zoom, you obviously can. I mean, you and I have met via Zoom. We've never met in person. I'm in America, you're in Australia. We have not had FaceTime. But so when you're doing stuff via Zoom, to be aware of your Zoom space and how you're coming off via Zoom. And that will help you develop that trust and rapport with another person. Our current marketing strategy is basically, because we had such good luck with developing those relationships, we do some regular marketing between, social media and the website and that sort of thing. But a lot of what we're doing is talking to our current clients and going, hey, we have more room for other clients. Do you know anyone who is struggling the way that you were? Do you know anyone who could really use some help with A, B, C, this list of 12 things? Hey, we've updated our list of the services that we provide. Is there anything new on there that you need or that you know someone who needs? And most of the time they go, oh, actually, now that you think about it, yeah, I do know someone. Hold on, let me put together a connection. Let me introduce you. And that has been just huge, because who do you trust more? Google SEO thing that pops up on a search? Yeah, that's helpful. Hey, they're a real company. This is fantastic. But if you have your best friend that you network with all the time go, oh, I know there's not a VA in this group, but I know this great one. I think they could help you. Ta-da!
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like when you're new in the business, it's not really about just trying to market yourself and try to just get as much clients as you can, because the most important thing is also about delivering a really great product, great service, so that your clients would be happy to refer you, to come back for more. And that's how you build, I think it's, sometimes people are too focused on growing too fast and haven't even got a proper products, and haven't built a relationship, because this is kind of a game where your product is it's a person who needs to also build trust with you and like you and want to deliver great work for you. And that takes a bit of time, as well as your clients will also need to warm up with you. So yeah, no pressure in trying to get yourself to grow as fast as possible. It's about growing slow and steady, but building a really great foundation, right? So Selena, as we wrap up, I'd like to know, how do people connect with you online?
Okay, so to connect with us online, we are on Facebook and LinkedIn under Office Mercenary. You can also find our website, officemercenary.com. There's lots and lots of information there. We've been building blogs about things like what is and is not a VA, what does onboarding mean, what does that look like, oh my God. Lots of great information there, and lots of ways to connect to us through that website also, whether that's email or, again, back to social media sites.
Cool. Thank you so much, Selena, for your time. I hope the audience has learned a lot. We were very transparent, open about our journey together in growing our own VA business. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any comments or questions for myself or Selena, I'd love to hear in the comments below. But if you want to also build your own VA business or scale your business with virtual assistants, then I would love to invite you to check out my mentoring program called Outsource Masters, which you can see in the descriptions below, where I teach my students everything I've learned over the years on how I've been able to build a business with over 70 VAs and be able to work from anywhere. So do check it out below. Now, of course, I have more videos like this if you'd like to watch more, so check it out here.